Get in, lads. Justin and I are here to give you guys a prediction preview video for El Trafico that is tomorrow or today as of uploading, tomorrow as of recording. I'm actually going to be going to the game. I'm going to record a little bit of it. I'm not sure if it'll make a full video, but we'll see what kind of content I get. If it's enough to post, that I will post it. If you guys want that post, leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, all those things. We're going to give you guys a preview prediction. I am an LAFC fan. I've watched almost all the games. Been to one game already. Andres, on the other hand, has been watching all the Galaxy games. So you guys are going to have a pretty informed opinion of both sides, which is nice. So before we get into it, make sure to subscribe if you have not already, because we are about 100 away from 1,000 subscribers. Once we hit that, we're going to go to the moon. I think we're going to make some crazy content. Whoa, hey!
Hey!
But once we hit 1,000, we're going to start making some better content for you guys. So if that interests you, make sure to stick around and help us out with some support in the future. But yeah, let's get into it. LAFC, LA Galaxy, El Trafico. Two different tales of the season so far for both sides. LA Galaxy do sit in first place in the Western Conference. They're the only undefeated team in the West, one of two in the entire league. LAFC currently sits ninth. So before we get into each individual teams, I just want to make an initial prediction from both of us as to what the scoreline is going to be. Before we talk about it, and we can go back to it, and having talked about it, maybe we can change that. But go ahead first, Andres, your scoreline for the end of the game.
See, I was going to go 2-1. That was the first thing that popped into my head, 2-1 Galaxy. But honestly, because it's an El Trafico and usually all the games are high scoring, I'm going to go 4-2 Galaxy.
4-2 Galaxy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
I think it'll be close, and then second half Galaxy will pull away.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm still gonna go. I'll go 3-1 LAFC, and LAFC is gonna be a little bit fortunate to pull it out. I guess I'll just move on to the LAFC content here, for that. Reason I say that, one, it's being played at BMO Stadium, which is huge. Obviously, one of the best atmospheres in the league, if not the best, I would know. Apart from, including that, that's a tough atmosphere to play in. Galaxy has not historically done the greatest with it, and I do think, and if you're following MLS, if you're a fan of these two teams, and you're on Twitter, this week has been one of the most toxic social media weeks of MLS I've ever seen in my life. It has been.
Galaxy fans can finally start chatting, bro. They can finally start chatting.
They're coming back a little bit, but it's one level away from slurs, which is funny because we're all Mexican, so we're all Hispanic. So yeah, just if you guys didn't know, I'm half Mexican. I just want to put that out there before I get accused of culture appropriation.
It's a SoCal battle, and we're all on the same side at the end of the day. If you really want to think about it,
we really are. It's just one's in Carson and one's in LA. That's the only difference here. Anyways, like I said, it's been one of the most toxic weeks. So I think the game is going to get heated, 100% heated. And in a heated match between Galaxy and LAFC, I think the difference will be the fans of LAFC backing their team. If LAFC don't come out and play, it's their fault, because they should have the most motivation in the world to play in front of the 3252, which I'm actually going to be in, as well as a pretty jam-packed stadium. So for me, that's the biggest reason why I think LAFC will pull out the win. However, LAFC have had a struggle this season so far. They should be in better standing than they are, but have had to deal with some things that are self-inflicted wounds, 100%, leaving them to be in ninth place. So normally the past few years, honestly, I would give it to LAFC in a heartbeat, but Galaxy have had a better start of the season than they have in the past 5 years. Probably their best start of the season since LAFC became a club, if I'm being honest.
I agree. I think this is a new era for Galaxy in terms of their quality instead of just relying on one player. I'm looking at the Chicharito, everyone relied on Chicha. Didn't perform as everyone hoped. And then before that was Zlatan, and what happened there. It was really all performances were based on how Zlatan played. But this year something's different. They finally had that transfer ban lifted, so they're actually able to get the players they wanted to get. Greg Vanney specifically, players he wanted instead of just getting random players on free agent. And I gotta say, they did a great job. Honestly, this team looks exciting to watch. Every time I see them play, I'm excited to watch them. But I think it's also important to note a lot of their games, they've started really slow. And a lot of their games have been comeback wins or draws. I think one's important to notice is I would say the St. Louis game that ended 3-3. kick comeback, last minute goal in like I think like 90th minute, something like that. But a lot of them have been like rocky starts to the game for Galaxy, conceding the first half, and then I don't know what happens, but in that halftime locker room they turn it around and they come out playing. Or sometimes it continues, like they play bad and then they have like an amazing spell, and then all of a sudden they score a few goals and they're back in the game, winning the game, pushing on the game. Uh, but no, this seems exciting. I think Ricky Puig is a big part of it. I think every time he's on the ball, he does something with it. Sometimes he's absent during the game, but all you need is that one moment from that special player, and he keeps delivering every single game. Personally, I think, and that's why they're first in the West. I think Ricky Puig is a big factor in that. Also, I gotta say, paint. Ooh, gotta make sure I'm pronouncing.
You got
Paint
this. You
still.
got this. You got this.
Paint still. I mean, bro is fast. I mean, all he has to do sometimes in certain games is just kick the ball up, and he just runs onto it. Like he'll beat that. He's crazy. I don't know if. Elijah, what do you think? Because I haven't seen any LAFC games, but the defense. Do you think they'll be able to keep up with that pace? Because I mean, bro is probably one of the fastest players in the league. Paint still. When I see him running.
So, I think it's definitely hit or miss. I think it depends on the way LAFC set up. If you sit deep enough, I think they definitely have the quality to keep up, especially on that left side, or the right side, with Omar Campos. Definitely have the ability to do it, but the MLS is also a league where your speed, pace, just overall your physical attributes mean a little bit more in comparison to other leagues. So I do think they can compete. For me, I guess it'd be more stamina. It'd be a stamina issue. It's for how long can they compete with it. Especially like you said, Galaxy have had better second halves than the first halves. That's huge because if LAFC, if they could tire LAFC out in the first half and use the speed second half, yeah, then they're done. I mean, then it's
Yeah,
going to be
also just to
pretty
weather
damn
the
hard.
storm. I mean, realistically,
Yeah,
LAFC is going to be on the front foot with the whole stadium behind them because I've
yeah.
been there. It's been crazy, the atmosphere. I
Mm-hmm,
don't think
mm-hmm.
LAFC's ever been on starts on the back foot at home. Personally, I don't think I've ever seen it. At least
Yeah, I mean,
starts on the back
there's
foot.
definitely there's definitely been games, of course, depending on the opposition you play, but it is very rare. That's what
Yeah.
matters. It's very rare.
If
Yeah,
they can weather, I
especially
think
against
if they
Galaxy.
can weather that first 15, 20 minutes, I think
Mm.
they'll be okay. And especially if they get to halftime and it's either they're up 1-0 or it's still like only 1-0 or it's a draw, I think Galaxy could pull it out. But
Mm-hmm.
also, Joveljic, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
striker up top, crazy. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Five
crazy
goals and
stats.
six.
I think he's the second player in MLS history to have 5 goals in 5 games. In his first 5 games, I
Really
think, of the season, something like that. Yeah,
interesting.
he beat Zlatan or something like that.
Mm.
I swear he scored a goal every single game except last game, which is unfortunate. He started on the bench, so I mean it's not really fair to him. But I think he needed a
Right.
break. I think that's why he was on the bench. But I mean he keeps finding the net. I mean there's some games where he struggled overall in terms of build up play, kind of like a certain Erling Holland that we know. I'm not going to compare the two. I'm just saying like
What a
I'm
random.
just
What a
saying. I'm
random
just saying, like in terms
stray.
of build
Those are.
up, they both struggle a little bit in terms of
It's
playing,
fair.
getting
It's
the
fair.
ball, playing out.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, different levels of competition, but Joveljic, I think he needs to improve that. I think he knows that. But when he does get it going, that's when the goals start coming. Is when it comes from him. But also, shout out Gabriel Peck, their new signing from Brazil. Very good
Mm-hmm.
player. Also, congratulations to him for being recently married. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, a week ago.
Oh wow.
He got married.
Wow.
Anyways,
Keep it up with the players here, huh?
man, shout out those commentators, man. They know everything on Apple TV. Guys. I'm not gonna lie, they know everything. I don't know how, but they do. But he scored the game winner. Kind of lucky against Seattle Sounders, but I mean, probably a good boost for him in confidence, especially coming new to the league. But honestly, it's their attack that looks exciting. Their defense looks a bit iffy at times. But Yoshida, their Japanese center back, does look solid at times. He does make some mistakes, but overall defense is okay. As sometimes they play really good. But also the goalkeeper McCarthy coming back to the BMO Stadium. It's going to be an interesting reception. I mean, to
Yep.
go to your rival team, but after winning the MLS Cup for LAFC, but then goes to your rival team, beats out Jonathan Bond for that starting spot. But he's been playing pretty good too for Galaxy. So it's going to be an interesting reception. I wonder if it's going to get to his head. I doubt it will. He's a professional at the end of the day. But it's going to be interesting. Instead of 32-52 with him, it's going to be against him, especially he's going to play behind it. In front of it. And
In
one of the
front of it,
halves is going to be
yeah.
interesting.
That's what I was
I'm
gonna
curious
say.
to see his response.
I'm curious as well. I do think it's a toss up. But I think having been a part of the 32, 3252 often and seeing the reactions on Twitter, I don't think it'd be that toxic against him unless it needs to be, if that makes sense. If it gets to a point of anger, then yeah, it's gonna get toxic against him. But I think overall the general consensus with him was like, you did your part with us, we appreciate that. You did what you had to do and moved on. Um, we're more so flaming. I've seen more people flame Galaxy for signing him because like right before he left, he made a post about like LA is black and gold or something like that, or like we are LA or something like that, and then he goes to Carson and gets involved over there. So I don't know. It's a little bit interesting, but I don't think it'd be anything overly negative. I don't think it'd be like I could totally imagine him walking in front and clapping, and met with cheers and clapping back as well. So it just depends. Unless he's killer in game, then we might throw beer at him. I don't know. That's not my fault though. That's not my fault.
It wasn't me. Wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Just look carefully. Zoom in. Get a zoom in on the 3252.
For real.
What row are you gonna be sitting in, just in case we need to get a zoom in on that row?
I don't know yet, but I will be in the 3252. So I'm not sure.
Just be careful. Sure. Look for an Asian Mexican, and it'll be Elisha throwing the beer.
I will say, to go back to your point about defense, Caceres is a doubt to play tomorrow as well, and he's a really big part of that Galaxy defense. So him to not play might be a little bit big, but at the same time, LAFC's attack has not been anywhere close to the goal scoring prowess we've seen in the past, even with Dennis Blanco so far. No player has scored over 2 goals this season so far, and that has been a constant thorn in LAFC's side, is finishing. I went to a game a few weeks ago, and I think we drew 0-0, but we had so many chances. So it's really up to LAFC to unlock their potential here, and there's no sign of it happening yet. We do have David Martinez, who we just signed, and he's been phenomenal, 19-year-old, absolutely rapid. So he could be the answer to Galaxy's pace, just in our attack. So I think that's LAFC's biggest issue with the game, and I don't see it improving a whole lot throughout the game, if I'm being honest. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping all of a sudden they get these shooting boots, and it's crazy. But you never know.
I think it's also important to know, I feel like in El Tráfico games, defense kind of goes out the window in certain aspects of the game. It just doesn't exist. And sometimes it's like shocking. But that's why you love the MLS sometimes, and you love these rivalry matches, specifically El Tráficos, because defense they forget how to play defense for like... There's a portion in every game, I think, if you look back on every El Tráfico game, where it's just like random attacks happening out of nowhere. Like, it'll be completely like LAFC. I remember one game was completely LAFC, then Galaxy just comes out of nowhere on like 3 counterattacks that like look amazing.
Zlatan's debut. I think LAFC were up 3-0, right? And then Zlatan came on and scored. I think that's a perfect example. I think to summarize it, it's just random stuff happens in these games. Yeah. It's never not exciting. So I think our defenses, in terms of defense, I think it's gonna be like who's able to make that last ditch effort at certain times. But I think it could be smooth sailing for Galaxy if they start correctly. If they don't do what they did in previous games in terms of starting off slow, making individual errors back in the back line, midfield. If they start off strong, like I've seen them in certain games, then I think it'll be smooth sailing for them in terms of they'll have a comfortable lead. They'll feel in control. They're not going to be playing off the back foot. But it's just all about management. I'm sure Greg Vanney will handle that because it's not his first rodeo playing LAFC. Especially, he has a better squad than he has in recent time. So yeah, it's true. I will say too, in regards to Galaxy starting off strong, LAFC better not let them. In the way that, like, you beat the crap out of them. If I'm being like, you cannot go into this highly contested, one of the most toxic derbies I've seen so far between these two teams, and LAFC cannot let Galaxy dominate them. You have to kill them. Like, truthfully,
set the tone early. One tackle.
Set the tone early. I expect to see Ricky Puig on the floor. Like, I'm not wishing Inland 10 or anything, but I do think LAFC just need to go in. Yeah, and
you let them
scare
know.
them.
You let them know.
Scare them. The more you do that, the more you get the fans behind you. You get 3252 cheering their heads off if they see him crack a Galaxy player. You have to do that. Play to that strength. For what you can't make up for in terms of team quality, you make up for in that way, in fans and all that, and unfortunate but abuse. I mean, if it isn't a rough game, I'd be pretty disappointed if I'm being honest, because that's how the game needs to be played, at least for LAFC. Um, I don't think Galaxy have had to deal with a whole lot of that so far. But they also are expecting it too, because it's LAFC. I mean, this might be, as of right now, might be the most heated derby in the league right now. So they're definitely expecting it, but LAFC has to just demolish them. You just have to. There's no way. I don't think there's any way you win this without being physically dominant, which they could do. I could see it. But
I think LAFC probably has a size advantage too, just based
I
on
would agree.
a lot of the players. I think they got to lean on that too.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, set the tune early, but also I know Ricky Puz ain't afraid of any tackles. I'm sure he'll get straight back up and probably get in their face. But I mean, it's gonna create a good game. I'm expecting a really 100%. Good game. I think it's going to be one of the most competitive games in El Tráfico history. They've had it in probably like a season or two. So I'm looking really forward to it. Yeah, English. I'm looking I'm looking forward to it. What time is it? What time's the game? It's 4:45.
4:45. Yeah, it's an early kickoff. It's an earlier kickoff.
I'm surprised it's not 7:30 and they put on.
I know, you'd think
prime time.
You would think
it is on prime time, but you know. Yeah, it's a free game. Yeah, it's a free. Remember, Apple TV users don't have Apple TV. It is a free game. You can watch it.
You can watch it on Fox 2 on cable instead of using Apple TV if you wanted to, which was the plan. But I looked at tickets and they're just too good to pass up. So if you're watching, keep an eye out for me. You're probably not going to see me, but keep an eye out for me just in case. I'll be there cheering my head off. My calves are sore from going on a run the other day, so I'm going to be crying by the end of it from jumping up and down. But
it's going to be brutal, bro.
It's going to be brutal, but I've owned up to that. I know what I'm doing, and we'll see what happens. Maybe just have enough beer and I'll be fine. That's all it takes.
Just get that liquid courage, baby. Just get that.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes sometimes. All right. Well, if we don't have anything else to add, are you content with your 4-2 Galaxy prediction?
4-2. Okay. 4-2. Ricky Puz, don't prove me wrong. I'm expecting 2 goals and an assist from you tomorrow.
Wow. Big expectations.
Yeah, man. I got some confidence in my Spaniard boy.
Wow.
Got some confidence.
All right. I'm still happy with, what did I say? Was it 3-1? 2-1?
Yeah, 3-1.
I think it's 3-1.
3-1.
I still think it's going to happen. Well, we'll see. Make sure to watch it if you guys can. Like I said, I'm going to record as much of it as I can. So if there's enough content, maybe I'll post it. If not, I'm sorry. But if you guys really want that video, just let us know with a like or with a comment or anything of that nature. And I will gladly help you guys out with that one. If you have any opinions about the game before or after it, let us know in the comments down below, please. We love reacting to comments and watching comments. The last LAFC Galaxy video we did actually did pretty good. It might have over 1,000 views by now. But it was about who owns Los Angeles. So make sure to check that out. That was a long time ago. Make sure to check that out. So yeah, help us out with a sub. 100 away from 1,000. It's gonna be huge.
Please,
might do a Mr. Kit giveaway. Who knows? Who knows?
Just subscribe, please.
But,
make me happy.
Please. But yeah. All right. So hopefully you guys watch it. We'll catch you guys later. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the game.
Peace.
And any of the content we release and whatever. See ya.